250 years. I was reading the Substack yesterday. I was like, man, it's different when you're talking to somebody that's really, 10 toes down in the work. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to just opinionated spaces. It's a big difference. You know what I mean? It's a different level of respect. It's a different voice. It's a different vantage point from what's actually going on. Man, it's like, man, come on, man. You can't play with this brother here, man.
That'd be the thing. It teaches humility too. It teaches a lot of humility. It ain't no
right.
This is my opinion. Could you imagine getting in front of a bunch of people in your community and saying, "This is my opinion. This is only my opinion, and the rest of y'all stupid." And you're trying to build a movement. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get somebody to pick their pants up or go to the job interview or even build a job for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Some people may say that works. Some people will say that's abusive, and that's actually like whipping somebody. That's some, as Bob would say, some Occidental madness. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we should lead with something different. But yeah, doing the work definitely humbled me. How you been doing, brother?
Oh man, been good, man. Adjusting to my shift. You know what I mean? That's it. Different level of respect. Like you talk about the humble part. Going at something different, seeing what other people do and have been doing for years. I'm also getting a chance to see the other side of the economy that people complain about. Everybody ain't broke, man. It's a lot of people that's doing all right,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's more than we think.
Like you said, going into that new space, I think we all doing it. I think it's a lot going on in the world in general, but there is a shift. I do feel that way.
What we seeing is a long-term effect of what we thought we'd never see. You know what I'm saying, man? It's the internet. We seeing gangsters denounce negativity. Prostitution is in our face at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Being who you once was is glorified. You know what I mean? Everybody got access, all ages. There's no limits now. You can put the camera all through your house now. People give you access to their family. And it ain't the kids. It's all ages.
Yeah.
That's the cultural shift about it. Like the elders don't even have no limits no more.
Yeah. I think all this technology without any anchoring, morally, is what allows the shift to move you as opposed to you becoming part of the shift. You know what I'm saying? Again, we've had conversations about like shame being removed, even drop down a few notches for monetary gain. People kind of worshiping individualism. And when you focus on individualism instead of like collectivism, then you're more likely to do like remember that show Jackass? You know what I'm saying? Version of that, or you go cooning and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because you only your pockets and not the responsibility you have to other people, their perception, and to the greater good. Like what's going to happen to you by doing that, with you doing that in 10 years. It's not it's like I'm going to be rich, but you're going to be rich but morally poor, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Karma's a mug. Even if you win and if you put poison into the air, it's going to come back and get you. You know what I'm saying? So, socially and culturally, that's one of the things we battling. This fragmentation of what we're supposed to be doing based on what we see on so much of these media outlets hitting us in the face with information and almost pseudo educating us. You know what I'm saying? Like we learning, we'll get a headline and be like, oh, it'll be big white letters, black background, half the page of war zone, a street scene, a politician scene, and it's like, hey, I seen 10 of these today. It must be true.
Right.
So it is a new frontier, and it's impacting us, bro. Yeah, I see it too, my brother.
It come from 10 different sources, but are those sources credible? Because they all coming from content creators. You know what I mean? You talking about the industry, 400 plus billion this year. And supposed to almost double the amount of revenue next year in 2027. It's globally now. And globally, people are financially strained. A lot of people are. But, that's the economic side. Because it also plays on the cultural side, like you said. You know what I'm saying? Where's the shame now? Where's the shame? It's no shame. You can do whatever. It's like the more free you are, the more liberated that you show yourself, the the more popular you are. The poison get paid. Dr. Hawkins, the poison get paid, man. They getting real money.
Yeah, but you know, yeah, and that money blinding. The money is blinding. You know, I was gonna say all money ain't good money, and it's easy to say that when you don't say, "Hey, what's up, chat?" and then leave the day with, you know what I'm saying, 5 racks, 10 racks, and you 22.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, 24, 27. So I understand. It's like when you're a teacher and you're trying to get the dope boy to pass the SAT. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, what's up? Like, you know what I'm saying? I teach you. Are you okay? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, I seen that sweater a few times this Sunday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that sweater could have been time, boy. You know,
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We all, you know what I'm saying? It is tough trying to preach that, but it is almost like that collective struggle turned into like individual branding instead of a code that we all accept. You know what I'm saying? That's what hurts. It turns into, instead of us versus them, it turns into me and an audience. You know what I'm saying? Instead of what should we do? You know, it's tough, man. It's tough. Loving your people is a lifestyle. It's not necessarily like a performance. You know?
These new culture titles, you know, grind culture, hippie culture, you know, all these cultures. So no one feels that concrete in the culture unless they really forced to. Unless they're really forced to. You know, and you know, I've never been to prison by the grace of God, but you know, I hear like that's one of those type of places. You're kind of forced to ride with a car. You're kind of forced to be down with whoever. You know, whatever it is. You know, and I see in society, you know, freedom is something my grandfather told me one time. He said, "Man, y'all got too much freedom." And I was like, "Man, but we supposed to be free." He's like, "Nah, it's not that." He said, "You guys don't know what to do with it." You know, y'all all over the place. You know, and that's where we are now, man. You know, we got all these different cultures now within a culture want to rewrite morals based on their feelings. You know, like, man, but the one that really matters politically, the Constitution, ain't happened yet. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? When we gonna get away from slavery? Yeah. So, you know, so until we really fight something worth something, I think it is just it's just to act, not a shift for real power, like you always say. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with what you're saying 100%, because now it's just fashionable.
Yeah, and you know, it start from small to big, right? So it's not like you can't talk unless you dismantle the system. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, unless you dismantle something, or you making them, you know, put $1 million in the hood or something like that. You know what I'm saying? No, it's really about your character too. Like your character, how you treat other people is revolutionary. So when I hear people, you know, in rooms, because it's all kind of factions, like you said, of our community. And it's like they super pro-black, but they tear black people down within the same paragraph. You know what I'm saying? Or just in the daily interaction, it's like, dang, you shooting yourself in the foot, and you shooting your community in the foot, because some people look up to you. You know, look at you as wisdom. Whether or you're inactive, so it could be some of our legacy organizations. I mean, you know, we got some of our great organizations in our community, you know what I'm saying, that people feel like they should be doing more. You know, we shooting ourselves in the foot by not doing more.
Do you think it's really not doing more, or do you think people are just focused on their community? Because once you have an organization, it's just this: look, I created it, I built it. Come. If you come. If you don't, you don't. You know, I can't force your hand. You know, that's how I look at it in sales too. You know, that's why a lot of times we look at it from a lot more humble approach, and, you know, humility a lot of times keep us broke. But when it comes to those organizations, I think it's a thing that, for instance, like they did with the Image Awards, the NAACP award, they made it look bigger than the award shows we aim for, the Grammys, the Oscars, you know, those types of awards. You know, it was luxurious. It didn't look like they were fighting to be on nobody's stage.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They know they have a stage. They showed up great. They showed up looking the way they look.
Great up
You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. And that's what it takes, just doing the work. Like you say, you know, having boots on the ground is different from being opinionated. We all know what can be done. We know we all have vocal answers to the solution. But what about the people that's actually doing it already?
Yeah. Yeah.
People can actually do more if more people participate.
Yeah. And if we built in those conversations, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's a special place in heaven for the person to move the conversation forward. You know what I'm saying? Like if you can share your idea and we come around and give you ideas to build that, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, you know, and it's an approach to that, you know, it would be way more impactful. You know, imagine you was like, hey, let me share my idea. I have a business that needs help or an initiative that I want to feed some people in my community. And you bring 10 people along. 10 people can help you make that idea happen in 30 days.
Right.
In 30 days. But one of the 10 people could tear down your idea and you won't act on it for 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So we got to be mindful of how we support each other, even in those micro moments. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's the fight, because everybody get caught on their back foot, but it's how you walk forward in that foot. You walking forward on your back foot, or you getting caught on your back foot, and that's how you can kind of tell right away. You know?
Yeah, I think that it takes more people being involved with those organizations you say need to do more.
Yeah.
And I think that's real unfortunate and unfair, man.
It is. It's distrust too. It's distrust in the systems, distrust in organizations and institutions and people who get in those spots. You know, it's a lot of reason to be distrustful, but like you said, a lot of it is unfair. You know, now let's think about like Jasmine Crockett, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like the sister. I think she good. I think she do what she got to do. She talk what she got to talk, you know. But we don't know that grind story. You know how hard it is getting those seats? Don't mean she not black or something. You know what I'm saying? It's really hard to get where she at.
Really?
So now we get there, and all of a sudden, because she got to wear a blazer, she ain't.
Right.
And that's
what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hurtful for the people in those positions, because it's like, I was in the hood yesterday. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like that's where they thinking. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm still of the people. I'm still the X, Y, and Z. But our distrust of a system is so great that if you're aligned with it in any way, you are now part of that system. And sometimes that gives us that is a disservice to us, and may even drive the people that's in those systems further away from us. And especially if they value like white adjacency. They may say like, they right about y'all, or see, I did this and y'all don't like me, so I'm gonna go hang with X, Y, and Z. Yeah.
But see, that's their contradictory nature. I think that's where we are right now. We've been hearing this all our lives, right? The hypocrisy of the people is at all time high. You know, that's what Cat Williams came out saying. He said, man, you finna see the hypocrisy of humanity. That's what he was talking about, hypocrisy of people, man.
Yeah.
And man, right now, bro, it's like you said, the poison. We know now the poison get praised, but we say we won't change. We say we want black representation, we want this, but we say they won't give us an award when we deserve it. We got award shows. We have over 20 plus, if not more, black award shows globally. The hypocrisy in our mindset have to shift. So what do we really want? What my grandfather said about having too much freedom comes in. You know what I'm saying? Because having so many options, man, can be real confusing to the point where now we're talking about computers and AI. You know, in Chicago, they're building the first school with AI. Teachers only be there 2 hours a day. And children are learning through AI. And their classes are short, the school days are short. And then after their classes and courses, man, they go to learning about business and real infrastructure, you know, economics. And so, you know, it's a real shift in regards to tech and technology that I think that we're touching on, but we're so far behind in it. But I pray that AI really catches us up to speed. But on the production side is where we kind of losing in that regard. But I think that on the tech side, on the learning side, and being you know, fingertips and tabs, I think we can really kind of stay in motion with what's going on.
Yeah, again, if we're anchored in and grounded in the purpose, then no matter the technological shift, we'll be a part of the shift and not moved by it. Like if we are just standing still and tech comes through and we don't use it to the empowerment of our people and our families, you know what I'm saying? So we can be here another 500 years.
Yeah.
Then, we throw our hands up. We may say, it's the boogeyman. Last thing we need is another barrier between us and power. Everything's on the table. Everything, we grab everything. So, and to your uncle's point, that freedom without responsibility is dangerous. Freedom without memory is where we are today. You know what I'm saying? We've lost in many ways our original assignment via so many layers of content that we have to sift through to make sense of anything today. Personal, internet, business, you have to be dual and triple minded for everything. And there's not anything wrong with that if you grounded. You know what I'm saying? If you still understand the assignment.
Right.
So, yeah, we have to get like a shared understanding of what we're supposed to be doing, a code of conduct, code of behavior, just a code. I say, the Black Panther Party put out one of the best documents in the history of humanity, the 10-point program.
Yeah.
It needs to be updated. You know what I'm saying? It has to be updated. And I think that's a very light seasoning of what is needed. You know what I'm saying? For us to move forward. A document, a code, a blueprint. So it doesn't matter what field you're in, you can still contribute. You can be the best janitor. You are brother janitor. You can be a scientist. You are brother scientist. You can be a nurse. You are sister nurse, sister doctor. You know what I'm saying? Sister policy maker, change maker. It don't matter. Sister mother. You know what I'm saying? Don't matter what. We on the same team. And then that'll impact how we even date and build family and all of this if we know what we're doing and why we're doing it. We just got to get back grounded before anything.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes it a body. And to your point, when you said earlier about people not clowning positions or thinking that their position is greater than the next person.
Right.
Because everybody got a role to play. And like you talking about Jasmine Crockett and those that go into the political sector. We frown upon those sectors, but that's necessary and very mandatory to the race that brothers and sisters get pushed into that arena. Because we can have all the money we want, but it's still regulated. We can have all the organizations we want, but it's still regulated. You know what I mean? And so if you're not in those rooms, you don't really have a voice or a say in that. If you're not voting, if you're not making sure you're focused on representation, if you're not lobbying, all of those things that play into politics, man. So the shift have to be focused on that too. But the one revision that I think that we have wrong though, like you mentioned the 10-point program being revised, I think that when we say the revolution won't be televised, right? The revolution won't be televised. It's jacked up, man, because we've televised it. We've televised it through the internet, man.
Hopefully we go back into in-person. Not hopefully. I think we're going back into them in-person meetings, those basement meetings.
Yeah.
Because if everything get tracked, the only way we're going to be able to have a real conversation is if you meet me at the church basement.
And the Italians had it down packed back in the day. You got to talk like this. You got to talk like this. You can't, because they can sit. They got cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
They're going to see you.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey man, you can't hide them. You can't even hide them in your own house no more. They record you in your house, your smart house.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah, man. So
the extent of how violent they'll get, right? So I'm sitting in the house now, right? They're dropping missiles that will leave a crater where I'm at. This shit'll just go black. So it's like you want to fight the power. They're monitoring you, and they have this capacity for violence that's almost unreal. But I think, like I said, we got to be crafty because there's a way to put the message. We have to control our narrative, right? So we have to use whatever vehicle that is to control the narrative. You know, the narrative is power. It creates belief. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So whether that's a radio show, if you maybe a certain content channel, I don't know. We all figuring that part out. Maybe if we find that out, we get free. But it's somehow if they're pushing all this hate on us, then we got to play offense. That's all I'm saying. And whatever that is.
So before we get out of here, Mr. Hawkins, do you think it's a power shift, or do you think it's just a false shift? Do you think the shift is just false in our minds? Nothing really happening. Stuff is just happening like it's usual, like the business as usual. Wars going on, the economy up and down. Wall Street doing what it's doing. People are winning. A lot of people win with AI. You know what I mean? They starting to regulate that in investing too. You know what I'm saying? So so is it a real shift, or are we seeing a power shift because people getting money now?
It's a great question, man. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole topic, but I think we are seeing a real shift. This shift, it's exposing people. It's exposing systems in a way that, only our ancestors saw. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing who people are, when it's opportunity, when it's struggle. When it's we're seeing institutions pull back from policies and decisions they made just to, we seeing who they are. Shift is making us make decisions, is drawing lines in the sand. So yeah, it's definitely a shift, man. This is a spiritual thing too. I mean, we're seeing wars and bombs drop, but that almost creates a new connection to God for the person or the receiver of that bomb, or even the person who sent that bomb. So we're seeing a lot of shifts. So yeah, I believe it's real, spiritually, physically, economically.
Say this, you mentioned the elders. I always got to talk about the elders, man.
Talk about the elders, man.
I look at the elders that they did. They did the same damn thing every day. And so the thing that you started with at home learning, you still gonna have to do that same routine everywhere you go. There's always good things you can get from home, because ultimately you're trying to come right back to home anyway. Because when you get money and when you get success, you're gonna start living like you were living at home anyway. You know what I'm saying? The more you learn, the more you realize, I got to live on a schedule anyway. I got to live like Papa and Big Mama did anyway. I got to get up, do the same thing routinely anyway in order to really achieve success. And that's how they got to where they were, to be in a position to actually take care of people. Not one, not two, not three, not four, but all generations until they died and got put in the dirt. So either way it go, you know what I'm saying? You always get something from the elders, you know what I'm saying? Get back to home, because ultimately that's the goal anyway.
It's crazy you say that, because, if you run first, second, third home, you keep doing that enough, you win the World Series. You don't even got to look up at the scoreboard. Just keep doing that and watch.
Man.
Man. And that's the thing about that's another thing, it'll be good for us to consider, especially the brothers, sisters too, our legacy. Grandma, like you said, 4, 5, 6, 7, whole community. Understand that these interactions that you have with each other, these businesses that you build, this is legacy. This is legacy. That's not your baby mama. That's your legacy. You know what I'm saying? That's not your. That's something that's gonna live on. So and if you're rooted in that, then you know how you're supposed to move out here. Whether it's good or bad. I am focused on family, and you know what I'm saying? You're so anchored that the shift doesn't move you. Yeah, man. I think we're gonna get there.
Yeah, me too, man. I think that spiritually we need to focus on the fact that there is something greater than us. I think that the world now is moving people to see what they can do to get the tangible. And people are really believing in themselves so much to the point that they're paying top dollar just to be praised, or for people to praise them. Popularity is really getting the pass out here, man, with what's going on. But we'll talk about that on another one, man. And
let's make sure that the shift isn't based it not in attention, but in real power. You know what I'm saying? A lot of viewers, a lot of followers. If used incorrectly, that's not a shift. That's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? The shift comes with a certain weight, a certain gravity. It might come with 5 viewers, you know? So you can feel the shift. So, you know, be aware, stay prayed up, keep your third eye open. You know what I'm saying? Stay in the gym, eat good. You know what I mean? As good as possible. Ain't nothing wrong with love.
Yeah, in and out gets you, huh, man?
Yeah, not the in and out, but you know what I'm saying? It's pork on my fork. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, come on. Oh, man, that's Dr. Hawkins, man.
Yeah, we get right, but yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Still country, though, a little bit. You know
ain't nothing wrong with the divine swine. You know what I mean? Hey, man. Hey, man. But that's what's up, though, Mr. Hawkins, man. I appreciate the time and your wisdom as always. And to the world out there, man, if you want to know how to run it, study the ones that done it. You know what I mean? So till next time, man, respect and salute. We out here. Yeah.